Steve, I'm Blind, and I'm back from E3 2019, and here's my hands-on first impressions of The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening, the remake that took everyone by surprise this earlier this year, and I was like, this is actually really cool. So for those kind of just a little bit of context for my experience with Legend of Zelda, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is probably the only game that I've actually able to play and actually complete. I played a little bit of the first Legend of Zelda on the original NES. I wasn't that great at it, so I kind of abandoned it, and it was kind of one of those games that just sort of like my disability kind of took over, so I wasn't able to really like play it fully through. But I'm excited to be able to actually be able to play this game when I heard about it was kind of announced, because a lot of people said that Link's Awakening is kind of a really cool game, and the fact that it's getting remade is amazing. Now this past E3 they actually got to have some hands-on demos that you can be able to play. I was able to sort of get access to like a quick 15 to 20 minute demo of the game itself. And I will talk a little bit about sort of the gameplay that I had fun with, a little bit of the accessibility, and and that's kind of where I'm going to go from there. The gameplay actually was really fun. I love the art style of this. This is really well done. Everything is kind of cartoony. It's big. It's bright colors. And actually in a way it actually is really cool for accessibility wise, because it allowed me to be able to see and not have to worry about sort of like, okay, wait, what specific detail do I need to see here, or what am I missing? Everything was pretty easy to be able to capture and be able to see, and I was really excited to just jump in the world and go further. I completely lost track of time actually at one point, and I had another appointment that I had to go to. So I completely forgot that I was just engrossed in this world, and I just like essentially what I had for the demo was kind of right pretty much at the beginning of the game, where you're recovering from being washed up on the island, and you have to find your sword, you have to find your shield, and then you go through your first dungeon. I didn't get that far into the dungeon to be able to get to a mini boss, but I was able to sort of do a little of obviously the puzzles that is in every single dungeon that in Legend of Zelda, from what I understand, and I got to see and fight a bunch of different enemies and sort of figuring out kind of the way the game is played. I know if you've already played it, it's pretty simple. Like you already know how this is gonna run. It looks like it pretty much is the exact same thing. From what I heard, there were some people that were playing it that because they had played it so many times, they had memorized where everything is. It's like, okay, up one screen, 2 screens left, and 2 screens to the right, and you're able to I don't know. People were able to figure it out pretty easily. So it looks like it's a pretty true to the original, and it's just sort of like in an updated sort of style for the Switch. Now, as far as accessibility, I didn't see anything in the menus or settings. They didn't really show us that much. And when I asked the Nintendo reps there, they didn't really have anyone I could be able to talk to in regards to anything that in regards to accessibility. It did look pretty simple. I didn't get to check out obviously you can see behind me the sort of dungeon creator mode. I did ask about that. They didn't have that unlocked for this demo for E3. I heard that apparently some people were able to try it out, but that may be behind closed doors that I wasn't able to sort of see. But what I was able to gather from the accessibility side, subtitles, of course, it's always there in regards to the dialogue, because there's no actual voiceover in this, so the dialogue seemed to be was pretty relevant within the subtitles itself. The subtitles weren't really that large, but they were bright enough, and they had obviously a background to it with a high contrast, so I could still be able to actually read it. I just had to be a little bit closer to be able to see what was actually said. Anything else in regards to like sound audio effects that just sort of know when sound is coming from, I didn't see that, but the audio is actually each sound effect in and of itself was actually pretty distinct. So if you with practice, if you have lower vision than I do or no vision, you should be able to might be able to figure out how to be able to play this and actually do well with a little bit of practice and sort of memorization. Everything was pretty bright, everything was high contrast in order to be able to see when you had to be able to pick up something, or when you had to interact with the environment itself. That interaction was actually pretty large, so you can still be able to see and know what button to be able to push. And it just kind of overall was a really fun game to play. And again, I'm actually really excited to be able to play this because I've been jonesing for a good like a Zelda game on the Switch, and I was hoping that they would actually announce a remake or at least a new version. And we're getting a sequel to Breath of the Wild, y'all. This is gonna be great. I'm really excited about that one. I can't wait till it comes out. Probably gonna be like 2022 or something like that. I don't know. I'm guessing here. But I was really excited to be able to play this one, and I'm gonna get it when it comes out this September. So it's gonna be great. That's it for me. I have more first impressions videos coming up soon. If you haven't been able to check out any of the other ones, I did first impressions of my behind closed doors demo of Cyberpunk 2077, as well as Watch Dogs Legion, and also Pokemon Sword and Shield as I'm recording this. So check out, there's a little bit of a playlist of my E3 2019 experience, and check that out. So thank you so much for watching. As always, I remain obediently yours. Bye.